The B2S podcast is brought to you by Motivated Apparel. Motivated Apparel, the premier gear for motivation. A brand that motivates, inspires, and empowers you to stay motivated while chasing your dreams. Head on over to www.shiftmotivations.com/shop Motivated Apparel and grab yourself some Motivated Apparel today.
Hey, what up, world? What it do? How everybody doing, man? Hey, once again, we want to thank y'all for tuning in to the Blueprint to Success podcast. I'm your host, Mike Mariner, a.k.a. the Shift Motivator. Hey, I'm joined by my brother from another mother. Y'all give it up for Mr. Alxndr Hall. What up, bro?
What's good, man?
What's poppin'? What's crackin'? Another day, another dollar.
Another day, another dollar. Another day, another...
Don't even do it.
I ain't gonna do it. All right, yeah. Another day, another dollar, man. We in the building. We in the building. B2S podcast. Matter of fact, we appreciate you guys for rocking with us. Thank you for all the comments. Let us know what you like, what you don't like. Hit that subscribe button, man. Let's go. Let's run it.
Yeah, and also joined with my brother from the same mother, man. Y'all give it up for Boy Wonda.
Big bag. Dub.
Crack-a-lackin'.
Bro.
Crack-a-lackin'. I see you with your new merch.
You know.
That look kind of nice.
It's a little
Y'all don't see his sneakers.
Grow.
Oh, I saw the sneakers.
He almost got robbed earlier.
Listen, you want to come over here? All right. You get 50. You not. Come on over here.
Hey,
reach on over here and pull back a nub.
Ain't no
them kicks clean he got on. I see him over
Oh, man, all is well, man.
What's going on, big dog?
Got the grow or die, new merch, you know.
Show him off.
Yes, sir.
This is definitely coming out, and I got another one y'all see in the next podcast.
Hold that leg up, man. Put them shoes in the camera, man.
Got that Carolina blue on them things.
Patrick Hewins, you know.
Them 33s. I had one dude in church. I was just talking to somebody. He just thought, he was like, nice shoes. He was like, yo, I love them. You want my dude.
Yeah,
It's Puerto Rican, so you know they.
Oh, yeah.
They're official. They come with the ball hanging on them. You feel me? Yeah, for sure,
I still got it back at the crib.
Yeah.
I moved too much to have that on my foot.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. You be done rolled on that so good. Whoops.
Man, shoot. Kicked it off and ain't even know it.
Mm-hmm.
But all this well, man, just been grinding, working.
Yeah.
Got a dope show this weekend. So it's just moving, man. It's been crazy. It's been a crazy week and a half, but moving forward with it.
Yeah.
It's been crazy.
Yeah.
Been crazy.
Yeah. Life won't be life if it wasn't crazy.
Bruh, trying to tell you. And it gives you new perspective on how to handle things at another level.
Mm-hmm.
A new awareness. And a new level of gratefulness, and even just being able to be chosen for certain battles, even when we don't like them. Mm-hmm. But it also grows us, it sharpens us, and it gives us another level of assurance and knowing that nothing is too much to bear. Mm-hmm. It's like he's not gonna put no more on you than you can bear. It's been draining, been tiring. I'm gonna take a couple of days off from work. I'm gonna take a couple of days off. First job, gotta take a couple of days off.
And I think
it's a lot.
I think this right here too. Sometimes things are allowed for you to make a readjustment.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Because sometimes you think you're good, but you're moving because you're trying to make moves and you're trying to make moves and you steady moving and you steady moving, and it's like you're not realizing the adjustments that need to be made because you're moving.
Yeah.
Yep.
You're in the moment, you're moving, you're in the moment, you're moving, and then it's like it's great that you're moving, but are you watching the moves that you're making while you're moving? because sometimes
Exactly.
they may need to be recalibrated, readjusted, or even maybe totally switched.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, you know, I think I'm on that last one. I think I'm
Throw the baby out with the bathwater.
switch power.
Switch.
Activate.
Hey, shaking us back to them house parties, right? You know that music be going, you be dancing, DJ hit that button, switch.
Yeah. I think I'm on that last one. I think it's about time to
I'm with
switch.
you, cuz. I'm with you.
You
Let's
know,
roll.
but to be honest with you, I think it's about time to switch.
Yeah.
Ain't nothing wrong with switching.
No, not at all.
There's nothing wrong with making the adjustment
Yeah.
and getting something different.
Yeah.
You know, getting something
Yeah.
so you don't get burnt out or
Yeah.
a new position, a new area, a new whatever the case may be. You know what I'm saying? So I don't think it's nothing wrong with getting something new.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think new is good when where you're at currently then ran its course.
Mm-hmm.
And you better tell.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, yeah.
Malcolm,
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
you better tell.
Yeah.
Like I'm about to pull a hamstring.
Yeah.
I think it's about ran out. So you know what I'm saying. So
Firstly, I'm about to pull a
Ain't no
hamstring.
bout.
it's
It
about,
ran
yeah,
out.
for sure.
Yeah, that's what's up.
So today in my Devo time,
Yeah.
my devotion time with God, I was just
Yeah.
I be coming. I be
Yeah.
jumping off the roof with God. Bump coming out the house.
Yeah.
I'm hanging.
Yeah.
I'm dangling off the gutters.
Yeah. Yeah. Be like them four guys that took that guy that needed his healing outside the wall on top of the roof, dug the people roof off, and laid him right down in front of Jesus.
Yep.
That type of
Yeah.
Gotcha.
I
That
just
part.
be honest with him. Just be like, yo, God,
Yeah.
yo, this how I'm feeling. This is.
Yeah.
And then he listened and he let me know if I'm whining or not. It'd be like 70% whining. But
Right.
but you know what I'm saying. But he know what
Right.
you're feeling.
Mm-hmm.
You know, he know what you're feeling. You know what I'm saying. So like he
Yeah.
listened and he'll let me know when it's
Yeah.
because I don't want to prematurely do something else.
Yeah. And that's the kicker, man, because it's like it's kind of, you know, when you're ready and you're like don't feel like you ran your course, but then there's that just like, okay, God, when we gonna pull the trigger? Like,
Right.
You need help? I can help you. See, it's this button right here. I can help you.
Yeah. Push that button right there. Go and push that button right there.
You don't even help. Okay. Yo, man, bro, it I got to the point where I had to just like go somewhere on property to myself and just literally talk to God right there.
Yeah.
Had to.
Yeah.
Just like, okay, God, what we doing?
Yeah.
And not in a demanding just to get out of a situation, but a lot of my prayers be like, God, give me the strength to get through this each day, because it's getting harder and harder.
Ooh,
It's getting harder and harder.
that's what we doing.
Yeah.
If you look, it's crazy, bro. And I know you got a topic, but it's crazy what
No,
you
No,
said.
it's good.
No,
It's
just flow.
Yeah, for sure.
Flow, though.
So you was like, it's what we doing. I mean, God like, yeah, this what we doing. Meaning like, I'm increasing our communication. Not when it's all good, when you about to tick.
Yeah.
Like, you know what I'm saying? This what we doing. So when you on the edge, you coming to me. You know what I'm saying? When you don't know what to do, you coming to me. So now you in a predicament to where you finna dangle off the edge, right? Like you just like, Lord, I'm finna just go off in this thing. And God like, no, you finna come to me.
Yeah.
This what we doing. So just imagine when when you got the company blooming, it's blossoming, and you got stuff, the financial is great, but when the finances is great, the headache is great too. So it's still gonna be like, no, you gotta come to me still.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Have
So
that-
I think,
Have that same urgency.
yeah. So I think God he don't enjoy to see us what we going through, but y'all don't come from my head. You feel me? This is why, cause if you look at God as your father, when my son do something retardedly retarded, just on the fact that he came and told me, 9 times out of 10, I'm not even mad. I can't show him that.
Right.
Because he tried to run it back and do it again. You know what I'm saying? My son tried to run it back. Oh, daddy wasn't mad? Oh, okay. You know what I'm saying?
Let me run that play again.
Run that play again.
Testing that limit.
Yeah.
Oh, we caught him slipping. Hey, coach, run that play again.
Yeah.
Hey.
But I think he uses our frustration to help build the quality of our relationship.
That's good, yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So he kind of enjoys he don't like why we coming to him, but just us coming to him, just knowing that I'm frustrated, let me go to my father. Now let me go to the Hennessy. Now let me go to the corner store and get it filled so I can bust it and roll up. Now let me go holler at old girl so I can, let me come to my father so I can, so let me depend on something that's stronger than me so I can help get my mind right.
Right.
You feel me? So I think he enjoys the father-child relationship, the creator-creation relationship. You know what I'm saying? I think he enjoys that.
Yeah, and I think too what happens is, and I think this is actually good, and I'm glad y'all are sharing these moments because it's like it leads right in, dog. It's like in these moments, this is where a lot of times we feel like we failed. You know what I'm saying? It's because we tried to do something or we're trying to do something and it's not coming out how we expected it to come out or how we wanted it to come out.
Right.
And then sometimes those feelings start to creep in like, dang, man, I'm a failure, dog. You know what I'm saying? Like, man, I failed. Like, and then what happens is it puts a mental glass ceiling in your mind, and then it keeps you from trying anything. And that's what happens a lot of time with people. And so, and what I would like to just say to encourage, everybody out there that's listening is you're not a failure. You know what I'm saying? You're not a failure. Just because you didn't succeed at something, it doesn't make you a failure. Now, you may have failed and not have succeeded in that moment.
Right.
But when you label yourself a failure, that's something that you're labeling yourself as. And so that's not who you are. I look at failing like this, right? It's an event, not a person. It's an event, not a person. It's like if I go to a party or a gathering, it's a party that's set for a certain amount of time. I'm gonna dress up. I'm gonna do what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna go to the party. I'm gonna partake of the party festivities. Then I'm going back home. That's the way I kind of look at failing. You know what I'm saying? It's like, you know what? It happened. I said I was going to do something. I said I wanted to accomplish this by this time. It didn't happen. So guess what? That was just a moment in time. So I just got to readjust, recalibrate, or even shift totally, and then get back on that horse and then learn how to ride off again. Because if not, then I'm never going to accomplish nothing. And then that's how people approach like relationships too. They get hurt, and then next thing you know, they completely shut down. Some people respond differently. Some people shut down by, dang, you know what, man, bump that. I'm through. I ain't going that route no more. I ain't worried about no relationship. I ain't trying no more. I ain't doing this. And then on the other hand, you got some people, they just be reckless. Yeah. They be like, dang, dog, she hurt me, dog. Man, bump that, boy. I'm finna hit everything moving.
They go to their vices.
So everybody's trigger different. I'm just being real.
Bro.
Right? You know what I'm saying?
Bro. Chance the Rapper got a record.
Yeah, and I know guys like that. I'm telling you, truthfully, I know guys like that. That has happened. They got hurt like really, really, really bad. Like, dog, you need to slow down, bro. Like, you know what I'm saying? I remember some, even when we was in high school, man, I remember some guys that happened too. I mean, like some tough guys that just got caught. They got caught with the one that they thought was the one, and then it wasn't the one, and they got hurt, and then they just went on a spree, dog.
Yeah, everything get tossed up.
And so, but when you look at life, what is it teaching? What can I extract from this moment? Because even in pain, there's purpose. And I know that sounds cliche, but there's always purpose in the pain, but you just got to look for it. Because what happened when the pain hit, it's easy for us to become numb to it because I don't want to deal with it because it hurt. It don't make me feel good because the culture is telling everybody right now, if it don't feel good, if it don't make you happy, leave it alone. That's why this generation is soft. Because they never can get through nothing. They never can go through nothing. Because as soon as it don't feel good, all right, deuces, I'm out.
Yep.
And like when you look at the thing that Jesus went through, like he persevered through the most horrible thing that you can even persevere through. So you mean to tell me that I can't do, you know what I'm saying? I can't go through a little turmoil, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You know, yeah, it hurt. All right, God, man, this how I feel. This how I talk to God. All right, God, this how I'm feeling, man. Like what's up? Like, man, I've been circling around this mountain. And like the hub said, man, you see that button right there? You can go and push that button anytime you get ready.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, you can switch the path, Lord. I mean, look, just.
God, this wilderness experience is beyond 40 days and 40 nights. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. So it's it don't feel good. Nothing that's painful feels good in a moment. But when you see the benefit from it, then you have a different perspective. Mm-hmm. Like I've been working out since the 8th grade, dog. I'm 45 years old now. I still get sore from working out. So that's an indication that, you know, something is still growing, even though I'm older in age. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. So it don't feel good. I don't feel like being sore the next morning, but I like the results of what I see when I'm doing what I'm doing. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? And so I have to remind myself. Yeah, like that's why I called on y'all, man. I sit there to hey dog, it's been a rough week, man. Y'all pray for me.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And that goes back to what we talked about in the other podcast, being able to have pillars in your life, you know? Mm-hmm. Yeah, because, man, when life hit hard, boy, it hit hard. It
run you over,
it hit hard.
back. Then it come back around and run you over again. You better learn how to hit back,
Bro, you bob when you should have weaved.
Diamond, he coming for you, Diamond. You
He
say him.
like, come on, straight. Ooh.
Nah, he wasn't ready.
He wasn't. So you had said, I'm sitting here thinking, bro. You said
Come straight from the house, dog.
Yeah, from the house, but I think this one's gonna be a little different, cause you know, everybody have their thing that they on. You know what I'm saying? So you said something just kind of like got me going a little bit. You said you look at success as failure as an event, like a party, like you go and you get dressed for it and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So, I'm just like, in your perspective, what type of wardrobe does failure have?
Dang, that's a good question.
like you know, like if you go, like what type of wardrobe does failure have? You know what I'm saying?
That's good.
Everybody talks about you do this for success. Okay, what about the things that I'm doing that's having me miss my mark? Like what do those things look like?
Here's I'll say this. This is what's coming to me. It looks the same as success. Because see, this is what happens, and I want y'all to hear me out. When you step out to an event, right, you step out to be looked at. Mm-hmm. So you putting on your best, right? I mean, you might even go shopping that day and got on a brand new outfit from head to toe. So you sharp, you clean. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. So you put your best foot forward, right? Mm-hmm. Most of the time when we fail, we think we put our best foot forward. Mm. So that's why I say the wardrobe looks just like success. Mm. Because in most cases, you were attempting something. You don't, now some people do, I'm not saying no, but y'all just follow. In the most sense, you don't half step when you do something. You try to do it the best you can.
Right.
With what you know.
With what you know, what you got, right? Yep. So just picture that as that success party. You know, you don't win and bought it. So you put on that best outfit, but you just not feeling the best right now because you're not getting the response. Because you walking in the party late, knowing you clean. You walk in the door, ain't nobody paid you no attention. That feeling starting to creep in, like, cause your all along your mind was set on what you had on versus what was in you.
Yep. Okay, 10-4.
You see what I'm saying? So now the man make the clothes don't make the man. So now that I didn't get the response that I was looking for, success, the clothes were the same. What changed? My confidence, my perspective. Going back to what we talked about on the last episode when you brought up Nick from Love No Cost a Thing.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
What he had to do.
What he did,
Change.
he changed his wardrobe, right? And the wardrobe changed his confidence. He changed his look. All that stuff changed his confidence. But when he realized who he was, the confidence was there the whole time. It just took something to bring it out of him. And so what happens, instead of looking at failure as something that didn't happen, look at failure as, dog, it's going to bring me right back around the way I'm supposed to be anyway if I don't just lay down there and wallow and saying that I didn't finish. Because it's going to bring you back right around who you're supposed to be anyway, as long as you keep traveling on that road. Just like if I'm driving in my car, right, and I'm driving through a storm, and I can barely see the windshield, right? But, I mean, through the windshield. But I can see that way down the road, it ain't raining. I got two choices. Either I can pull on the side of the road and wait for the rain to stop where I am, or I can just keep going and slow my pace down because I see the thunderstorm that I'm in right now. But I can see through the little glimpse that I can get through the rain that's beating on my window. I can see the sunset right down there. Like wherever I'm going down there, it's sunshine down there. So either I can put on the side and stop and wait for it to stop raining from where I am, because you don't know when it's going to start raining.
Nope.
You just hoping and praying that it's going to start raining.
You have no control over it.
You got no control over it. But you can see just above the horizon that it's sunny over there. So that's when you have to make the conscious choice. You know what? I ain't for to pull over. I'm just for to slow down. I'm going to keep creeping, and I'm just going to keep getting through this storm because I don't know how long this storm going to last right here, but I know if I keep going, I'm going to leave that rain behind.
And I'm going to get there eventually.
And then I'm going to be tougher, stronger, bigger, better, and more wiser than I've ever been in my life because I went through something and I was able to come out of it. But if I go through something and I don't come out of it, then I didn't learn anything from what I went through.
Yeah, because if you keep driving in that retarded weather, because it's going to rain again. Mm-hmm. So when it rains again, you know how to drive in the storm.
There you go.
Yeah.
There you go.
10-4, I got you.
Yeah. I
got
like
you.
that, dog.
Yeah,
I like
for sure.
that. You know, you come from the house, you come from the house. You think,
Right.
You know, brother got to think before he asks you.
That's been
That's what does fulfill your wardrobe look like? That
For
was
sure.
good, dog.
Yeah.
That's really good.
Yeah. I had to come from the house on that one.
Yeah. Everybody come from the house. And you come from the house. And you come from the house. Okay.
I'd be like, oh, bro, you get a car.
I'm talking John. I'm talking John.
Yeah, that's just like, man, like when I would tell you who I talked to, who I was with today.
Yeah.
And, man, we had a great conversation. And looking at him from when he was a kid to him now as an adult. And I told him, man, I just smiled. I said, man, I'm so proud of you, man. Because his mind is so open. And our walk has been so similar. And you talking about light years difference because of the age gap.
Yep.
Because I was his mentor at one time, you know what I'm saying, when we was in youth ministry over at Worship Center. And but just to hear him talk, and I'm like, your journey, the only way you can talk like that is because of your journey. The only way I can talk like the way I'm talking is because of my journey. And God allowed me to go through the hurt, through the pain, to produce what you see right now, and I'm still growing. So you got to look at yourself as, yeah, God can pluck you out at any time, but what benefit do you get and does he get by you taking yourself out of the process earlier than what you should to perfect yourself? You know what I'm saying? So that's just like an investment. You pull that investment out early, boy, you're going to get taxed.
Oh, yeah.
Because your intention was to go into that investment so that you can have a future return. And so based upon the vehicle, there are certain stipulations with that return, though. It's set for an appointed time.
Yeah.
Like Scripture says, in the end, the vision will speak. But we want that joker to speak in the beginning. But the process and the learning, all the thing that you get from it, it comes throughout the whole thing. And then it speaks at the end because now it's complete.
Because even the previous storm journey prepares you for the next one.
Yeah, exactly.
It always prepares you.
Exactly.
It gives you another level of confidence.
Mm-hmm.
And then when you get that next level of confidence, it gets you in a place of a certain level of awareness and knowing like, okay, I know this is gonna come. You prepare yourself mentally more. Mm-hmm. It's like you're conditioning yourself. You're training. I remember I was talking with Tim, and this was a little while back. And, you think about different artists. They have all this huge catalog of music. And you think like, man, you got all this music. You remember all of that. Even songs you ain't even did in a minute. But they train. They condition. It's a difference from when a person trains and when somebody just do it a couple of days out of the week. Train, right. This is their lifestyle. Working out, something they do. Yeah, feel like it now. Will I do it today? Yeah, maybe. Training, when it comes to someone who trains, it don't matter what the weather is. They'll do it when it's on a bad day. They'll do it when it's on a good day. They'll do it within and out. No matter what is hitting or coming their way, they're hands down, 10-toe down. And it's just like life. Life conditions you. It trains you. And though we don't like it, it's still preparing us for the next storm. And it unlocks things that you weren't aware of before and teaches you things that you weren't taught before.
Right.
And through many of storms, it's just like, man, you think, can you let up a little bit? Just a little bit. Cause but you're willing to go through it even when you just like,
Yeah.
Yeah, because he was talking about they train when they don't feel like it.
Yeah.
Bro, people who train for real, they set their life up around it.
Yep.
Yeah.
So they make sure it's a part of their life so much, so they, like, you have a studio in your house. That's the difference. But, I mean, people, okay,
Right.
if a person who's an artist, let's say they don't have a studio in their house, because every artist don't. Right? But let's say they're lab rats. They take their check and they break bread to be in the studio all the time.
Yep.
So even though they don't have it in their house, they make sure they're in the studio. So he got arrangements, he bills and blah, 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 blah. So he said, you know what, I got a 3-4 bedroom apartment. I'm finna put a studio in my apartment. So I can come to this thing when I feel like it at any given moment in time. That's the humongous difference. Jamal King got a 9-to-5 millionaire. He got a gym in his house.
Right.
Yep.
Because working out is part of his lifestyle.
Right. He sure lived. That joker was not.
Period. That's part of his lifestyle. It's nobody.
That nothing comes before that.
Yeah. God probably. God, of course.
Other than God, but outside of that.
Outside of, that's his thing.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So when you really embedded into something, bro, you make sure it's a part of your lifestyle. Like, okay, I need this. You ever seen House Hunters? They were like, what's important to you? Well, I want that kind of, that I want the open kitchen.
Right.
And the husband looking like, oh my God. But anyway, like, so.
He buy some old man.
That's right. He thinking about that price going up and up.
That invoice is gonna be crazy.
So the realtor is gonna go find stuff that fit their lifestyle.
Right.
They have it in there.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So that's how we should be about what we trying to do.
Right.
Like, yo, I make sure, I don't care what time I wake up, I make sure that I find some time out of the day uninterrupted to spend time with God. That's like one of my things that's non-negotiable.
Right.
And the earlier I get up, the better. You know what I'm saying? I get upset when I hear somebody go to the bathroom. I feel like they beat me up.
Right.
Like, Grandma, you hear them feet sliding. Grandma, you up at 2:30? Why are you up at this time of morning?
Yeah, I'm up this time of morning. What you doing up this time of morning?
Mom was avid at that, dog.
What?
Like,
Oh yeah, I heard.
praying and
your mom's going. Yeah.
I'm talking about going in. I'm in the bed like, come on, Mom, I got to go to school in the morning. But man, I am thankful because her prayers kept me out of a lot of trouble, dog.
It saved you from a lot of danger.
2 accidents, dog. I shouldn't even be sitting right here, right now. Nothing but God. Straight miracle, bro.
And then she'll go to work.
Yeah.
Like,
Like that's why and I think we talked about it on one of the podcasts, talking how about exposure creates experiences.
Yeah.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? I was exposed to that. So it's like that's my experience. So it's like when people hear me pray, they say the same thing. And anybody that know my mom or knew my mom, they said, yeah, that's he got that from his mom. That part he got from his mom. Yeah. Because that's like she can be up all the time and it ain't. She can be praying an hour, 2 hours, you know. But that's what we're exposed. That's what we was exposed to.
Bro, the first time I came to Lakeland, right? I moved to Polk County. I worked at Lakeland Regional Medical Center, Lakeland Hospital, whatever like that. So, and I was married at the time, but these 2 individuals, which we still close to this day, the Hagans, shouts out to y'all, the Hagans, my boy Wookie, so my boy Jarrell, and his wife Kiana. And shouts out to Isaac too. But Jarrell and Kiana, they like embrace me and my wife, you know what I'm saying? And you know, me and Jarrell and Isaac, we like this, you know what I'm saying? But the first time I went to somebody's house and they had a prayer room, first time.
Oh yeah, it hit different.
It hit different. They got, the first time I walked in, a young married couple, they got the prayer room with the couches in there, with the communion set up. We come over, we read in scripture, or we have a communion. And they're not playing about their Sabbath. They on chill mode.
Yeah.
They not playing.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So they got that stuff set up in their home because it's important to them. It's dear to them.
exactly.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Yeah. You have to. You have to set that stuff in your life, man. It's important. That's I mean, everything is important. What you do, how you move, people that you put in your circle, because they gonna expose you to new things that you never was exposed to before. You know, just like that. Like honestly, as much as my mom prayed, like the way our house was set up, she never had like a prayer room. So when me and my wife went to go see the movie, was it prayer room? I think it's called prayer room.
War room.
War room,
Yeah.
right? War room, yeah.
Yeah.
And she actually had like what you were saying.
Yeah.
She had a whole prayer room dedicated to just prayer. Man, that just blew my mind, bro. Because I never seen like nothing like that to that extent where you just got a designated area and it's set up strategically, almost like the you know, the inner court, the outer court, the most holy place. You know what I'm saying? Like how that whole setup was. It was strategically set up, and everything meant something. Everything had a purpose. Everything had a function. You know what I'm saying? And that's how we got to look at life. Yeah.
Yeah.
Because even the battles, man, they're teaching you something if you're listening and you're watching. The only reason it's not teaching you something if you're not paying attention to it, because the pain is too deep. You know what I'm saying? So it's like when the pain is that deep, you gotta silence the noise and extract something from that. You know what I'm saying? You can't get blood without extracting the blood from your body. Right. And in order to test to find out what's going on, I have to extract the blood from your body. And so in order to find out what's really going on, you have to extract the positivity out of the negativity. Because if not, you're going to go crazy.
Sometimes you have to feed on that. Sometimes you have to feed on the noise of that pain. You have to remember, like, shouts out to my son's mom.
But dog, that's why you got scars.
But I'm just saying though.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Yeah, people feed off pain. I look at it as a scar. because it keeps you in remembrance of where you came from and what you've been through.
True.
You know what I'm saying?
What
And
you're
it's
not
funny
willing to
because
go back to.
what's the boxer name? I was just watching the Pivot. I was listening to the Pivot on the way here, and the boxer that lost his daughter. That's what he used. He used the pain from that situation. Like, he's undefeated. He's the world champion in his weight class. I can't think of his name right now, but go check it out. It's real touching, man. Like, she had some type of disease, and wow, dude, the pain that little girl went through, bro. Like, while he's trying to, well, you can tell he was getting choked up just talking about it. And they're asking him, they're trying to be respectful, but yet they're asking a question because they're intrigued by how he used that situation to fuel his pain. You know what I'm saying? And now he's champion in his division. And that's what he said. He's like, he basically said, like, if my little girl can go through that, why can't I get through what I'm going through? And what happened was it had got, she would have this, like, seizures a lot. So she was constantly, he said she was on life support like 5 times. It's a little girl, dog. And so he just describing all the ends of the weeks that they would spend in the hospital on end. Him having to fight 5 and 6 times in 1 year is uncommon for a boxer. And so, and the decision that he had to make, it was, y'all gotta check it out, man. You gotta check it out on the Pivot. But he was saying how when the moment came, and he said he looked at his little girl and wires and tubes and monitors that was hooked up on her, and he just told her, he was like, you know what, baby girl, if you tired of fighting, I understand. Boy, that's deep. That's deep.
Oh yeah.
That's deep. And he said a few days later she was gone. He just told her, if you tired of fighting, I understand. Daddy will try to find a way to make it through. I'll be okay. It's going to be hard, but I'll just find a way to make it through. But, basically saying, like, at this point, you just enduring too much. I don't know why you holding on, but if you're holding on for us, Daddy will be fine. You do what you feel, what you need to do. And then he said a couple of days later, she was gone. So I was like, you have to feed off, like you're saying, you have to feed off stuff like that, man. And to me, that just represents a scar in your life.
Sure.
Because the scar always reminds you that something painful happened right there. You know what I'm saying? And
You'll never forget it.
You'll never forget it. You know what I'm saying? You'll never forget it, man. And so it's just like, you got to look at life and do the same thing. It's like, dang, that was a scar. That bad relationship, dang, that was a scar. That bad business move, dang, that was a scar. I got hooked up with the wrong person, dang, that was a scar. You know what I'm saying? But you can't let it make you bitter. You got to let it make you better.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Okay, now I know what to look for. Okay, when people start talking like this, okay, now I know what to look for. Like, oh, hold up, dog. You knowing you sitting there, you already got a vision for your business. Your partner come in like, man, bro, we are blah, 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 blah. It sound good, but in your heart of hearts that that's going to take you away from your vision, you know not to do that. You got to stay true to the vision. That's life, man. That's life. That's life, man. So, to everybody out there that may be going through something in this moment, man, I know it's a deep podcast today, man, but, just keep pushing, man. Like the quote says, I never lose, I always win or I learn. Because I can never lose if I learn from something. And that's how you got to look at it. And that's funny when you was talking about what you had said earlier. I have a quote, and it's almost to that thing, and it says this. It said, the adversity that you're in now is preparing you for the adversity that's about to come, not the adversity that you're in. And that came to me one day. And I was like, wow. Because we was, basketball season was in, and man, the turmoil that we went through this year as a team, dude, we had 8 players the whole season.
Tell me, Winter Haven?
Arbondale. Yeah, we had 8 players the whole season until playoff time hit, until after the football season around there. But then a couple of the kids came, like some of the kids that said that they was gonna come out and play, that normally played, they didn't come out. Because they hold those spots. Because you have your you have your tryouts for the regular kids, but then you gotta wait because you gotta have already knowing your roster spot, so that way you can save spots for the football guys that's coming out.
Right.
They didn't come out, so that left those spots voided. You know what I'm saying? And then some stuff happened with some of the current players. So like we was playing the whole season, dog, with 8 players.
What is the
Usually there's about 12 on the team.
Okay, cause you know what's going on.
Yeah, it usually be about 12. So you gotta realize there's 5 on the floor at all times. So you only got 3.
Yep.
You only got 3 guys on the bench.
Resting.
That's it. But what if you got small guys on the bench? Your big man is, boy, you got to be in shape. You see, because them 3 guys that we had on the bench. So it was like, but we still had a good season. We still had, we could have actually had a greater season, but we had a good season. And the adversity, the injuries, because had some injuries too. Key players, starters, got injured that was out for weeks. So it was a lot of adversity that we had this year that we normally hadn't had, that we wouldn't face.
So when you lack, you got to make up. Meaning like that, you said, if you got 8 on the team, you got 5 on the floor, and you got 3 on the bench, and then and nobody's like real huge, and the other team got a full staff and they got huge people. So if you lacking in numbers, and if you're lacking in size, you got to make up with skill and endurance. Everything else got to be on 10.
There you go, bro. That's good. Yep. And
So
that's it, right.
if you what we talking about earlier. So okay, son. Right now, you're at the red light. You're not moving. Okay, face it. Get over it. That's God. I don't know if he like that. I'm just saying. Don't come for me. I'm just saying. You know what I'm saying? He's like, yo, right now you're not moving. So if you're not lacking in momentum, you're gaining that with communication with me.
Yeah.
Like, you know what I'm saying? You're gaining more, you know what I'm saying? You're gaining more patience. I'm digging out that pit deeper for you.
Yeah.
Because right now you have no choice. So even though you're not moving, you're not gaining here, you're gaining somewhere else, you don't even know it. So when you get to another level, what make them flip over the edge is gonna be mediocre to you.
Exactly.
Because you got room for it.
Exactly. And that's what separates the greats from the average.
Yeah.
That's really what separates the greats from the average, dog, man. It's like, I'm gonna go ahead and put this quote here by when I heard it, they said that Kobe Bryant said it. So, cause says this right here. He said this. He said, "I was chasing perfection and excellence, even though I know I probably would never catch it. But just because of the fact I was willing to chase it, I would defeat most of my opponents because most of my opponents would never chase something that doesn't have any guarantees attached to it." You know what I'm saying? That's powerful. That's powerful. Because when we talk about what separates the greats from the average, I mean, you know what I'm saying, is looking at the adversity that you're going through and you turn that into a positive thing or some fuel. Dog. Have y'all ever listened to Kevin Garnett tell a story?
Yeah, he funny, bro.
He funny.
That dude can tell stories, dog.
He funny, yeah.
Yeah, did y'all remember the one where I don't know if the audience may, but Kevin Garnett, NBA player, prime guy, and you know our era growing up, and KG, man, he was telling a story. He was like, he just got in the league, right? They was playing the Bulls, you know what I'm saying? So he talking trash to Mike. And the guys, he telling the story. You gotta hear him tell it, boy. That jump be funny, dog. He talking junk to Mike. You know, he scoring, he doing his thing, right? He said he talking junk to Mike, and he said the teammate is trying to tell him like yo KG, like chill.
You want no play? Okay.
like that's Mike, dog. Like chill. He like, man, don't give a, you know, what up, man? Let's go. He said, man, Mike. He said, Mike, look there. He said, all right, young fella. I got you.
In his word, whippersnapper.
He say, boy, boy, Mike hit about 10 shots straight on it. He say, boy, he just ran him up and down that court, and I forgot how many points he ended up on it. And he say, boy, they had called the timeout, boy. He sitting up on the bench. He say, boy, he sitting on the bench like man, go. He say, well, I'm like, whoa, ow. He say, Mike got him back. He say, hey, you all right, young fellow? And then he say, man, yeah. He say he got in the huddle. He say, man, he told the guy, he said, man, my bad, dog, my bad. Mike had not used that talk. That fuel, he had to put it on him.
But since we're on the b-ball tip, and I know they different. I know. And big ups to my brother-in-law Julian, Pastor Julian, because we be going back and forth about this, what I'm about to say. And I know
The B2S podcast is brought to you by No Grind, No Glory Apparel, R828 edition. It's a reminder to stay strong, to be courageous, to starve your fears, and to feed your faith. Even when it feels like everything is falling apart, just know that you were born to stand out and make an impact. Head over exclusively to www.nogrindnoglory.net and grab you some merch as a daily reminder that all things work together.
And I know they different eras, different body structures, and you already
I already know where you going.
I'm just saying, look. Look, I'm just saying. I want to know.
Hey, you can't be coming from the house on this.
Look. Who you got, bro? Who you got? You got Mike or you got Brown? Who you got?
Man, I'm taking Mike all day.
Okay, who you got?
Yeah, I'm Jay.
But see, here's the thing. Like, you're comparing apples to oranges.
I'm not comparing. I'm just asking, like, who, like.
What I'm saying, that's usually where it comes
yeah.
from. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Because at the end of the day, LeBron is amazing at what he does.
Yeah, he a monster, bro. Tim, he's a monster.
But here's the thing, though. But when it comes to mindset and mentality, you can't touch Mike or Kobe. I literally watched LeBron like literally quit on his team on the floor.
Oh Lord, Mike.
No, serious talk, dog. You could tell body language. Like you can body language. Say that's why I always telling the kids out there on that when we playing. Like y'all got. I say, man, I don't care how tired you is, dog. Get your hands off your hip.
Yeah.
Cause if I'm a student of the game, I'm fit to eat you up. Cause I know you tired. Cause your body language is telling me you tired. So when I get in that huddle and when I get on that sideline, coach, give me the ball. He tired, coach. Give me the ball. So it perception and everything. It's everything, dog. So I'm sitting there, like I seen a couple games, dog. I'm like he fussing at the referees or looking at the crowd or whatever. The ball is at the other end of the court, dog. Let's play. Mike and Kobe would never do that.
Even when you see the other games from last year, they didn't play no defense.
Yeah, I mean, LeBron, he plays defense.
No,
because
he does, but I'm just saying as far as the team as a whole.
Yeah.
Y'all finna had a whole LeBron fans on y'all head.
Hey,
That don't bother me.
I'm giving props.
I like LeBron.
I'm giving props to where props is due,
Yeah,
but
for sure.
facts is
Yeah.
facts. Like you talking about two different guys, two different players. I'm talking about everybody got a mindset.
True.
Two different
But
times
Kobe's
as well.
and Mike's mindset, and we're talking about getting through adversity. That's the separation, dog. That's that when it comes to the end of the game, them guys want the ball in their hand. LeBron, it don't matter. And I understand both mentalities, don't get me wrong. I really do. Because LeBron is more like, oh, well, shoot, if he's the open man, I'm going to go ahead and pass it to him. Kobe might want to take that last shot because they that guy. You know what I'm saying? So if I had to choose between a guy that's good and a guy that's great, I'm going to get the guy that's great. And what separates them is the same skill set, just two different eras. But the mindset is different. I'm going to go with that guy all the time. Even if you miss a shot, I don't care. Keep shooting. Because your mindset, can't nobody take that. I can take that ball from you. I can steal it all day. But I can't take that tenacity that makes you who you are. when you look at the successful people, dog, that tenacity is what make them who they are, because they don't understand the word quit.
That's that dog.
But in order for them to understand, get this though, dog. In order for you to understand the word quit, you got to fail a couple times. And you got to be okay with failing, because guess what? You're going to fail again. But if I'm scared to try something new because I'm afraid I'm going to fail, guess what? You ain't going to never try nothing new. See what I'm saying?
True, yeah.
So when it comes to mindset, I'm going to take them guys all day, because that's how they roll. They want to eat you up and spit you out. That's a different mindset, dog. They don't just want to beat you, they want to destroy you. When Kobe said, and I said this before, when Kobe said, whoever's guarding me when they play, I want to make them feel like they ain't never stepped, they ain't want to ever play basketball in their life, dog. I said, God, dog.
Different mentality.
That cat, different.
Yeah.
He didn't say, I want you to feel like you wish you never stepped in front of me. That joker said, I wish you would never have you. I want to make you wish you never played basketball in your life. That's different, dog.
That is.
That's different.
Hey, Dub. Hey, Dub. Dub, you had prophesied that juice wasn't going to last long. He turned that thing go quick.
That's that crack juice.
He prophesied that, boy.
That's that crack juice,
Sometimes
man.
it happens like that.
What you got, Dub? What you got over there?
I got when you think about failure, failure gives you a certain awareness one doesn't, who feels like they got the whole area scoped out. So when you feel like you know everything, you see everything, like can't nothing get past you, that's when you kind of slip up. So there's a quote by Vince McConnell that when you was talking about failure made me think like, let me try to find it. It says, we must train from the inside out, using our strengths to attack and nullify any weaknesses. It's not about denying a weakness may exist, but about denying its rights to persist. So basically,
Ooh, that's heavy.
That's deep.
It's
Yeah.
good to acknowledge what we're failing at or what we failed at, but it's even better to acknowledge that it doesn't have no right to stay, to exist, to be a part of your life, to be a continuous thing or something that is trained in your life. So you either gonna train for how to get past it, or you're gonna allow it to train you to not do nothing, to be null, to be void, to not even be present, to not even want to, just like you say, Kobe, want to make you feel like you never want to play basketball in your life. That's how failure wants to treat you. Failure wants to treat you as such, as this stigma over your head. It's something that you can't shake, but that's not true. So another quote by Stephen Covey: "Be patient with yourself. Self-growth is tender. It's holy ground. There's no greater investment." That's the best investment you can give yourself, not to give up, to keep trying. Don't look at the 9,999 ways you fail. Look about that one time you'll succeed. Because all you need is that one time, and it'll change everything. It'll change the dynamic of your life, your thought process, how you do things different. Life is just that. It's a journey. It's a continuous journey.
He said it's holy ground.
Yeah, be patient with yourself. Self-growth is tender. It's holy ground. There's no greater investment. So it's like no different than what you allow yourself to see, what you allow yourself to hear, what you believe to be, whatever people call you, what are you going to answer to? Because people can call you all kind of stuff, but it's not true. And the only way it is true if you keep answering to what they're calling you or accepting what they're calling you or what you think you are. Nah. This is a holy temple. This is a holy ground. So you have to watch what you sow on your ground. And you have to cultivate and guard your garden.
That's good.
Yeah.
You have to think about the insects and the bugs. Like you have to thoroughly make sure to keep bugs, ants, insects, anything that can hinder from the growth of the plants or whatever you're growing, whether it's different crops. It's no different than with your life. You got to protect it. You got to guard your heart. It's the same thing. So to y'all out there, be encouraged. Also, just understand that, I understand this is cliche too, this too shall pass, but you got to really believe it. Like, I think because we hear something so much too often that we grow numb to it and we stop believing. And when you stop believing, then you stop hoping. Then when you stop hoping, you start doubting. And then when you start doubting, it gets you in a place of unbelief. And that's the hard, you can get back from that, but it's hard. So, like they always say, life is always gonna be hard. Choose your heart.
Right.
Like,
Right.
I would rather understand what I'm going through and be in the thick of it and still fight versus knowing what's going on and give up and not stay in the thick of it.
Yeah. Yeah. That's like that quote, man. They said something. The same boiling water that softens the potato hardens the egg. It's not about your surroundings, but what you're made of.
That part.
You know what I'm saying?
That part. Damon.
Yeah.
Like Major Payne. What is it, boy? You found a piece of candy in your pocket?
You stupid. You stupid.
Major, what? I gotta go to the bathroom. Hold it. I can't.
You stupid.
Same thing. It's the same thing. But I got a question, man. Like,
Uh-oh.
what do you...
coming from the house.
Uh-oh.
Man, how can one who doesn't have the self-awareness or the discernment to understand how to move past, like give one from a spiritual point of view and one from a natural point of view? Because everybody's at different levels. So how can they, one, discern how not to only not give up and to push through, but to also discern when to give up something and when to hold on to something and keep fighting for it? Like how do one, from a spiritual standpoint of view, continue to hold on and fight and know when to let go, and then from a natural point of view, how to hold on and how to fight, and then when to know to give it up. And what I mean by give it up, meaning to allow God to do what he needs to do and learn from whatever the situation is.
Yeah.
And whatever you're going through.
Hey, can you get me on the line, dog?
Yeah, for sure.
That's a good question. You got something?
Yeah, for sure.
All right.
'Cause
I gotta look up something.
Because you know how
I'll let bro handle that one first.
you know how, man, one thing I've been really learning, bro, is like even just with whatever environment I'm in, right? And I understand who I'm around. I understand what level of consciousness, what level of faith, what level of awareness they have, what level of understanding they may have. And so you know how they was saying, you know, that you may be the only Bible that they may ever read and see.
Bless you.
Thank you.
Bless you, brother.
Thank you.
A lot of times we always want to come from a level that they have no clue, no idea
Right.
what you're talking about from a spiritual standpoint. Because we have to show them how to be in the world and not of it. We have to show them how to live, but still use wisdom, still use discernment. And discernment, I feel like, is even, it's from a natural standpoint and a spiritual standpoint.
Yeah.
You can still understand, even if you have zero spiritual intelligence.
Yeah.
So, but like, how do one know when to fight and know when to give up?
Well,
Because that dog, you know.
Go ahead, dog.
I remember.
Good question.
So, real good question.
Real
so
good
like,
question.
I remember when I was younger. See my real dad. He was a chef, so he had other quirks and stuff like that. My stepdad was more of the handyman. You know what I'm saying? So he showed me how to change my oil. He showed me how to change a tire. He showed me how to lay tile. First time I seen a wet saw before, how it sound, how you get a square and you put it on there, and he had this yellow thing, and you pull it and they got a red string, and you put the string on this end and you pull it and you pop it, and then you can see the line where you cut at. So he was just,
Yeah, I know what you're talking
you know what I'm
about.
saying?
Yeah.
So he was the type of man, a great man. He showed me a lot. He'll build a wall in the house out of sheetrock and frame it out. That not really my calling, right? But since I'm the only boy in the house, Jada, get on here, you know what I'm saying? So he'll have me like screwing in. First time I learned what a fill up and a flathead was, you know what I'm saying? And then you got the star, the thing, it feel different. So if you're screwing something in to fill up and you keep going and going and going, either two things gonna happen. If you screw it into wood, either the wood around the screw is gonna crack, then the screw is not no good. Or if you got, or if you're twisting the fill up too much in the screw, you will strip the inside where it can't go. So I think from a natural standpoint, if you're working something, you're doing something, and it's starting to cause more harm than you accomplishing the goal,
That's good, bro. That's good.
then it's time to give it
Time to
up
be
because
alive,
because you screwing, but you done cracked the wood, it's no longer good.
Yeah.
You can't hold anything no more.
That's good.
If you're screwing
That's good.
If you're screwing your Phillips screwdriver in there and you strip that screw, you can't put the screw in there.
Yeah.
This screw is ruined. Your Phillips still good, but the screw isn't.
Yeah.
So it's time to make a readjustment because now you're not doing no good.
It's
now.
no use if it's
no
not
use.
useful anymore.
So now it's time. So if you hold on to a relationship, if it's drowning you more than anything, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
If you're working somewhere and you're feeling and you're mentally about to crack, it's time.
Time to build,
It's time to bail. Not that like if you're, like it's that time. If you keep putting money into your car over and over every 4 months, you don't almost put a new down payment on the car. It might be
Right.
time to just get another one.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
You know what I'm
Dog.
saying?
That's good.
If you're eating a certain type of food and it's causing high blood pressure, it might be time to switch up the food a little bit.
Yeah.
Because now it's causing more harm than it is good.
Yeah.
So I think from a natural standpoint, if something is causing more harm than it's good, it's time to jump ship on that and figure out what do I need to do to make this work.
Yeah.
You feel me?
That's good. Yeah. And the download I got with
What's
your example, dog, the tool represents your gift. If it's serving you no more where you are, it's time to go.
Uh-oh.
That's what came to me while you was talking. I was like, dang.
God,
That was a very good analogy, dog.
God, no.
For sure.
So, and it was like, what came to me, that tool is a representation of your gift. 'Cause if it no longer serves you where you are, it's time to bounce. Because like you said, the screw ain't no good no more.
No good
or the
no more.
wood that you need ain't no good no more. Ain't nothing wrong with the screwdriver.
Yep.
The screwdriver is solid.
It's solid. Ain't nothing wrong with your gift. Ain't nothing wrong with your vision. Ain't nothing wrong with that. It's time to move on to something else or something greater or something different. Because there's nothing wrong with your gift. You just need to put your gift in a room that is ready for. And when I started, and I was just sharing this. I was just sharing this with somebody. When I first got into the school system, and I joined FCA. Shouts out to Pastor Leroy, man. That dude, solid dog. Like, man, me and him would like talk every week on point, on site, dog. Iron sharpening iron. And he said something that stuck with me. Because when he was trying to figure out, because I started out at Victory Christian Academy.
Right.
So once that season was over with, he was trying to figure out, okay, what's my next assignment? And long story short, that's how I ended up at Auburndale, right? So, but he said something prior to that always stuck with me. He said, listen, I know exactly where you need to go right now. And that's what before we was going to Victory. Somebody got old. Somebody that got old. I ain't even gonna ask a damn if it didn't even start. But he said this right here. And he said, I know exactly where you need to go, and they ready for your gift. And so, and I look at every place that I've been, God has placed me, because I tried to go places. I tried to go in certain doors. They just were not open. It seemed like they should have, but they just did not open. And then when he said that clicked in my mind. Like, okay, well, that's why I didn't want to go in. I wanted to go back home, but I couldn't go back home because they weren't ready for what I had. And that's not nothing to say arrogantly. It's just when you're asking to be in God's will and God's plan, that's what he gonna do if you believe it. So when the door don't open, you can't get mad and you get frustrated. You ask for God's best for your life.
Exactly.
Right.
And so if you thinking going back to this place was God's best and he doesn't open that door, then you just dismiss what you said you wanted. Bro. So God closed that door so you couldn't go there, but now you mad at God because God didn't open up the door of opportunity, and you looking at the opportunity like he's like Dub saying, like, God push the button, and God is like, no, that's not it. It's a big door that I got, but it's something I got to clean out real quick before I let you go through that door. Because if I let you go through that door right now, you're going to mess it up. You think you're ready, but you ain't ready.
Or even the flip side of that, it's like throwing pearls to the swine. They ain't
ready for you.
Not just on that, but because of familiarity, because it's your hometown.
Jesus in his hometown.
It wouldn't have been respected. They would have never taken it into heart like these boys here. Yeah. And when you said that, it's like, because we want to go so bad to make an impact on where we're from, and sometimes we have to understand who assignment is that and that too. Not to say that you can't do anything in your community, but like I remember for years, man, I used to feel bad for not, setting things up and doing things like God said, I ain't give you no jurisdiction. I'm not gonna give you something that I know I could see far down the line. I already got somebody in the clutch for this. And he's like, continue doing what you're doing, one person at a time. Yeah. And that's how you gotta handle it. And man, I used to feel bad for years. Just because, you want to do more for your hometown. You want to do more to where people receive it and actually be appreciative of what you're doing and the level of awareness you're bringing and the level of help, like the level of resources that can get people into a better space, a better dynamic of life. And sometimes you just have to allow God to use other people to get the same mission done. Yeah.
That's all that matters is that the mission get done. You just gotta stick to what he has for you, and that's where we get it crossed up. Yeah. Because our feelings and our emotions get involved. Because it's a good thing, but is it a God thing? That's what we gotta look at.
Hold on, bro. Just run that back real quick, bro. What you just said. No, because that's.
Dude, bro, that's talk though.
It's a good thing or it's a God thing. That's on so many levels right now, bro.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah. I'm talking to myself because I be having them conversations with God. Be like, man, I ain't like where I want to be at. Like what's the hold up? Like, come on, But then I'm talking with guys in my space. They rooting for me, dog. You know what I'm saying? This is one kid, the one cat I was telling y'all about. I had invested in this program. And, he'll hit me up, he'll send me a message every now and again. Like he sent me one the other day. Wow. He's like, he had I was watching one of his video. He did a mastermind, and it was so funny, dog. I would just talk, bro. It's like these last couple of weeks have been crazy, man. Trying to make moves and stuff, and it's like I was talking with somebody. I was like, man, I said, here's the crazy thing about how God deals with me. Like a lot of the stuff y'all hear from me, I don't be no regurgitated from somebody else. That be off the top of the dome. 99% of that stuff be from me. Like I do quote other people's stuff. Don't get me wrong.
Yeah.
But 99% of that stuff is me and God, dog. And I can say something today, and I can hear it from a platform tomorrow. It has happened so many times, dog. And he had said something in his video that I tell the kids all the time. I was like, wow. I said, here's this guy doing this thing, making money, making moves. He's saying the same exact thing that I've said, but I desire to be where he's at because I'm not there yet. You know what I'm saying? And so, and I types in the comments like, man, it's like, wow, man, keep doing what you're doing, King, because I say, man, I'm always telling people that, especially the kids, they can take your house, they can take your car, they can take your clothes, they can take your shoes, but they can never take the knowledge that you input in your mind. That's why education is so important. I said, I'm always telling people that. He said the same exact thing, dog. Almost word for word verbatim. And so I had to chime in. So I hit him up. He inboxed me back. He was like, he said, bro, you deserve to be here. And that's it. That's all he wrote. Cause some of them guys, like I be amazed at like some of the you never know who watching you, dog. You never know who watching you. That's why I gave the testimony of, God rest his soul, Hezekiah Griggs, when I first got started speaking. And I didn't have no videos. I didn't have any video. And Della Torre got on to me. He when I first started, he was like, Mike, why you ain't got no videos out? So I made up something. And the truth of the matter is, I was afraid. Because I was afraid of being rejected. I was afraid that people wouldn't like what I had to say. That was really the truth. But I lied and told them something different. Which, I mean, I ain't going to say I lied. I just told them a partial truth because that was part of it, what I told them. But the main part was...
You lied.
Hey, you know how we do. I didn't lie. I just didn't tell them the truth. No, that was a partial truth. That wasn't everything, but the more of it was I was afraid.
Yeah, for sure.
You know what I'm saying? But everything was on point. You know, graphics was on point. You know, I'm moving, striving, setting everything up. Then I get this inbox from this guy. I'm like, man, I kind of know about him a little bit because of Della Toro. So, because Della Toro, he had a kids camp that he did every year, and Della Toro was always a speaker at his camp. So, dude hits me up in my inbox, right? And he asked me this right here. He was like, hey man, you know, how you doing? Blah blah blah. He said, hey man, do you have any videos? I'm interested in possibly have you come in with my camp. Dog. I say, shoot. Missed out on that opportunity. Missed out on it. But you know what? I didn't lose because I learned from it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And that's the way I try to approach. Like, do I get frustrated? Yeah. Do I want to cry? Do I cry? Yeah. You know, because sometimes just get to that point. You know what I'm saying? You got to be okay with your emotions. You got to release that stuff. You know what I'm saying? Especially with us being men, because here's the thing. What's going on in society today? The men are fighting against the women. Because the men are fighting the pressures that they have, and then the women are fighting the pressures that they have, and nobody's coming to the bargaining table. Like, you know what? We're both under pressure. Let's figure out how we can take the pressure off of each other. Because men feel like we can't let our emotions show because the woman doesn't create that space for you to show your emotions. So therefore, you constantly bottling that stuff up, and you trying to get the bag. You're trying to set things up. And the woman trying to get the bag, trying to set things up. And then it's just causing a friction between mankind.
Separation.
And then it's causing separation in the homes, and then kids are going crazy. You know what I'm saying? And so it's just like, we got to find that medium. You got to find that it ain't even about finding balance, but it's just finding your priority at the moment. There's this guy by the name of Walter Bond. That dude dope. I met him at one of De La Toro's events. That dude is dope. He played a couple years in the NBA, and his story is, his coach told him it was the crazy thing. He said his coach told him, he said, man, you'll make a great motivational speaker. Because his stint to the NBA wasn't an easy road. Like, you know what I'm saying? He talked about what happened to him at college and how he just felt like quitting and stuff. And he called his dad. His dad kind of basically put him back in his place and gave me basically like, well, son, either you gonna work harder to earn your spot, or what you gonna do, or you gonna quit, one of the two. And so he ended up earning his spot. Long story short, he got to the NBA, but he said he figured out this thing right here. He said when stuff happened to him, he said, I have a 3-day rule. He said, I have a 3-day rule. He said, I have a pity party for 3 days, and after them 3 days, that's it. He said, I don't care. He said, I don't care how bad it is, how gruesome it is. I have a 3-day pity party, and that's it. I get back on my feet, I pull my straps up, and I move on. And I thought that was kind of dope. I think we have to set those boundaries that, hey, it's okay to mourn.
Yep.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
It is.
And this is what God told Joshua after Moses died. Because Moses didn't enter the promised land. Joshua was the promise that was supposed to take the people into the promised land.
Yeah.
And the children of Israel was mourning. This is what happens. See, mourning, when you're in mourning, you can't move. It stagnates you.
Yep.
So what happened was the children of Israel got stagnated. So God had to step in and say, okay, listen, Moses, my servant, is dead. I need y'all to tighten up and get over here because I got a place for y'all to get to. So there is a time and a place for mourning, but you got to set boundaries on how long that's going to last. Now, to everybody and we can attest to that because everybody at this table has lost a loved one within the last couple of years.
Yep.
So at the end of the day, you know, you're gonna always, especially when you lose someone dear to your heart, especially like a parent or a child or something that's like a hole that only God can feel. And,
I was crying for my dad today.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, in the shower. I was crying on my dad in the shower today.
It's a different feel, dog. So I'm not talking about this. I want y'all to understand that. So because that's gonna always be with you because you're living a life without the person that has cared for you for so long. So you get through it. That's the way I look at it. I say it's nothing you get over. You don't get over the death of a loved one like that. You don't get over it. You get through it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And so and that's the way I look at it. I don't think God was telling the children of Israel to get over it. He was telling them to get through it because y'all have been sitting here. In order for you to enter into your promised land, you got to move. You see what I'm saying? So yes, your leader is gone. First of all, see, he acknowledged the loss. See, you got to acknowledge that loss.
Yeah.
I attempted a shot, it didn't go in. But you don't stop shooting. You still keep shooting.
Right.
So God acknowledged, like, listen, Moses, my servant, is dead. I acknowledge that y'all are experiencing loss, but it still doesn't stop my plan for your life. Your loss still doesn't stop God's plan and purpose for your life. You just got to work through the pain. And get to the purpose place because their purpose place was the promised land. So even though God had already given them the promised land, they still had to possess it.
Yep.
I can give you something, but if you don't take it, it's still not yours.
Exactly.
You see what I'm saying? So at the end of the day, the pain can either stop me, like you said, bro, earlier, or it can fuel me to go somewhere. And so God just had to come in and intervene, like, hey, nah, you know, y'all, all right. Like Walter Bond say, man, I give myself 3 days, and then I got to find a way to pull it together and just keep on moving.
Facts.
And so, and I think what happens is when it comes to like chasing success, whether it's in your marriage, your relationship, or your business, or your kids, or a coworker, or a boss, or whatever it is that you got going on in your life, I think what happens is we get lost in the sauce. And what I mean by getting lost in the sauce is, like I was saying, it's okay to mourn. But then you have to set a real short limitation on that morning because sometimes you'll go down a rabbit hole that you can't come back from.
Mm-hmm.
So when the dude said, man, I give myself 3 days, I was like, that's dope. That's dope. 3 days, I'm going to get it all out. I'm going to cry. I'm going to get frustrated if I got to punch something. You know what I'm saying? Go to what's that angry room where they go in there trash stuff. If I got to set up something to go do that, me and my oldest daughter, we went axe throwing one day. That was kind of therapeutic a little bit too.
How was that? Because I was looking at that for,
Oh, that was fun.
Yeah, it is?
Yeah.
Okay, 10-4.
Yeah, she was like, your hand's gonna hurt and your thumb like cramping up. I was like, shh. She's like, yo, I was like, no, I'm good. Let's go. You know what I'm saying? So it's just, we bottle those emotions in because we're trying to get it. We're trying to grind. The world tells you, well, if you respond this way, you solve. Dude, you gonna crack. If you sit there and bottle all that stuff in, you gonna crack.
Yeah, for sure.
Call me soft all you want to. You gonna crack, dog. You gotta let that stuff go.
Mm-hmm.
So I like that 3-day rule. So it might not take you 3 days, but I would suggest if you don't have a 3-day rule, put you up a 3-day rule. Give yourself 3 days to get that stuff out your system to the point to where you can move. I'm not telling you to remove it from your system because some things is just gonna be there. Like I said, the death of a loved one, that's gonna be there. I'm not telling you to remove it. I'm just telling you to get through it. Give yourself 3 days to remove yourself from the position that you're in to where you can move again.
I told my stepmom one day after my dad passed, I said, Moms, I said, you got to take Daddy with you. You got to take him with you. You know what I'm saying? Take him because you got to move forward. I'm not saying, because I think, when people pass, other people be saying stuff like move, get on the good foot. The person who's grieving, they feel like, oh, you telling me to lead them. They already gone, but now you telling me to just drop them. I said, Mom, so I'm not telling you to, I said, you can't forget about my daddy.
Yeah.
I said, but you gotta take him with you. Just take him with you. All the memories, the good times and the bad times, take him with you on your way moving forward because Daddy not here. So you gotta take him with you. I was crying with my daddy today in the shower. Yeah. But when it hit me, I let it hit. And then I had to go and I had to go ahead and do what I had to do. When my dad was laying there, the last thing I told my daddy, and this is how I knew it was real, bro. I told him, he laying there, they wiped him clean and everything like that. His body was still warm. So my uncle left, stepmom, she had been left. She couldn't take it no more. So I'm his only child, right? So I'm laying there, I'm sitting there with him. I said, Daddy, I said, I got to go. Well, I got to go. Because it's a process for a living person.
It is, yeah.
I said, you got to go where you got to go.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's a process for a deceased person.
Yeah.
The other day, my first time, I had to move, I helped move a dead body the other day at the hospital. My first time ever put my hands on a dead person, a deceased individual. I'm said that way, no disrespect. And how it is on the TV, that's how it is. The toe be tagged and everything. And then we was pulling. I had helped pull him over, and then his head hit that table. That doom. When you hear that doom, it's like that for real. Yeah. It's a process to that. I said, so Daddy, I got to go where I got to go, and you got to go where you got to go. Yeah. Yeah. So now I just take them with me. On my journey, I take them with me. When I think about how I'm doing with my son, I think about, I told my stepmom this the other day, and I don't mean to go on this tangent about fathers and parents and stuff, but like I said, this stuff is therapeutic. Maybe,
it is.
Maybe if this could...
we praying this helping y'all out there, man.
Bless somebody's life, you know what I'm saying? So, and people can always look back and be like, oh, my mama should have did this, or my dad should. I told my stepmom the other day, I took her to get coffee, So I took her on a little date because she ain't got no man, so I take her on dates.
Nah, that's dope. That's
feel me?
good. Yeah.
I take her out. Coffee, whatever she want to do. You
Yeah.
know what I'm saying? Whatever it is. So I said, now me being 35, my father had me when he was a little older. So now me being 35, and when I was in kindergarten, I think my daddy was like 30-something years old. Now I can see the position that he was in when I was a kindergartner. It's funny how now I can see where he was at now because I'm the age that he was at. I'm older. Like my son is older than I was when my dad was my age. You know what I'm saying? But I can see the position where he was at, where it's like, okay, said this is around the time where your dad should have made certain type of decisions. So you have to make certain type of decisions because this is like the third quarter of the game. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Type of a deal. So I
Yeah.
told my stepmom, like, yo, I see where my dad was at. So I just take him along, it's crazy. The experiences that he experienced with his life, I take those along with me that didn't have nothing to do with me. That's how you really trying to dig in deep for like when you really want to learn and upgrade. The experiences that he had in his life that don't got nothing to do with me, I'm trying to extract the nutrients from that.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So, just for anyone who's grieving, just take them along with you. Like, just
Yeah.
not saying you gotta let them go. You ain't gonna be able to let them go. Just take them along with you on the
Yeah.
journey. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. That's good, man. Cause that goes actually along what we've been talking about the whole while is extracting the positive from the negative.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So it's like I used to, we keeping it a buck, man. I used to think like, why do people visit people's graves like there's nothing there? Until you find yourself in that situation. You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
Like I visited mom's grave a couple times.
Okay.
I get it. It's like, man, like I know she ain't there, but it's like I got to release how I'm feeling right now. You know, but this is the place that her last remains were.
Right.
So that's the last place that I can physically go, even though she's not there per se life-wise.
Right.
But that was the last place that she was put to rest. So I'm going to go back and visit that place and talk there. So I get it now.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Because it's therapeutic. You got to release that however you need to release it. And so now I understand. I didn't understand it before because it didn't happen to me. But now that it had happened to me, now I understand. You know what I'm saying? And so, and I just have to extract all the positive stuff and, even the negative stuff. And just like, Mom, I'm gonna make you proud. You know what I'm saying? And you use that to like, as fuel and stuff like that, like you were saying earlier.
Yeah.
And like I said, that was good, dog. I was saying just take them with you.
Yeah, take them with you.
Yeah, you can't drop them off where they left. You got to take them with you. Yeah, man, this was good, man. This was a little bit deeper than usual, but I love it. You know what I'm saying? It's being transparent, using transparency to help, build somebody else up. You never know what somebody's going through.
I think that's one of my superpowers.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Cause I be trying to figure out what is my doggone superpower. Everybody got their thing. You know what I'm saying? So what's my thing? Like what's my?
Nope, that ain't it. That ain't Spider-Man.
I think my thing is me not afraid to be open in small settings.
Yeah.
I think that's my thing. If you want to know, I'll tell you.
Yeah, well, dude, transparency is everything, though.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Because I mean, it's certain things you can't expose and you shouldn't expose at certain times. But
Yeah, for sure.
when those things that you're prompted to share, and that's what I do. I share bits and pieces when I feel led to share certain stuff. You know what I'm saying? And there were certain things I've even shared preaching. I didn't want to share, but God prompted me to share it, and not It never fails. Every time at the end of it, somebody walks up to me and said either they were dealing with that or somebody close to them was dealing with that. So it helps people, and that's what we're here for, man. We're here to be helpers one to another, man. We got to get back to that.
Yeah.
Yeah, society is pulling everybody apart. You know, you ain't gonna blame it on social media. It's the culture.
That's why.
Exactly.
That's why, and I know Dub finna wrap me up. I already know, but that's why you said it's like a battle between men and women because we forget that we're here not to go against each other. We're actually here to. You ever seen monkeys in the jungle, bro? You got one monkey sitting like this, the other one go in the back and eat the bugs off the back. Oh, the monkey. They'll sit there. One monkey will be like this.
No.
He'll be taking the bugs off his back, eating them. The other one taking the bugs off his back, eating them.
That's crazy.
For sure.
But you can learn from that, though. Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, man and women was here to actually help ease the...
Yeah, help to ease the burden from one another. Yeah.
It's help, help me.
Yeah.
The woman is not the only help me. Yes, the man take lead, but you here to help her too.
That's it. Yeah.
Because when you want some help, you're going to want to help you.
Right. Right.
Wifey,
where you at?
Oh, Lord. Big bad Dub.
Yeah, man. Well, before we get up out of here, Dub, you got something you wanna share? Because I know we've been going back and forth for a little minute here. So before we release, do you got something you need to release?
I am my own greatest asset. 2 ears and 1 heart can help save a life. Listen to understand. Nothing is insurmountable if you take 1 step at a time.
There you go.
See, that's why he the closer, bro.
There you go.
That's why he always know what to say at the end.
There you go.
He do all the time.
There you go.
Bro, this is stuff that I usually just have written down, just like spare moments. I just write stuff down because you just never know when it's time to go in the house. All right, that's what we shoot not today. So,
Yeah.
I was like, this is perfect.
Yeah. That's what's up. Yeah. And on that note, man, we going to end it off of that. So, man, hey, just keep trucking, keep plucking. Keep moving along, man, because you can't never reach your destination if you stop. I heard somebody say this, and we're going to get ready to get up out of here. And I'm going to say this right here. I heard somebody say this. If you're going through hell, just don't stop.
Keep going.
That's why they're burnt up.
So that means if you're going through something, that means there's something at the end on what you're going through. But if you stop in the middle of it, you'll never get to the end of what you're going through.
That part.
So we're going to leave it at that, man. Hope you guys enjoyed the podcast. Once again, we appreciate y'all tuning in to us, man. Hope we said something to inspire, encourage you, and empower you to your next level. So, hey, man, this has been a blueprint to success. And remember this, what we always say, we'll see you at the top because the bottom is way too crowded. And if you think different and be different, you'll have the opportunity to live different. And once again, we'll see y'all on the other side of success.
Yeah,
we'll see y'all next week.
For sure.
All right. Peace.
Yeah.